Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna, and today we're going to be going through Maybelline as a brand, talking about all the good stuff and some of my favorite things that Maybelline has to offer, as well as do a full face with some of those products. So if that interests you, just go ahead, keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know down below some Maybelline products that you love that are like holy grail status. Let me know that down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this full face of Maybelline and talking about some of the best products that they have to offer. Hey guys, alright, so today we're going to be talking about all the good products from Maybelline while we do a full face. So what I'm going to do is tell you everything that I think is awesome from the brand and worth checking out while I do a full face of what I have from Maybelline on hand currently. So let's dive in. We're going to start with skin enhancers. Maybelline 4-1 Perfector. This is not my number one holy grail skin enhancer from the drugstore, but this was nice because it offers a little bit more coverage than some of the other ones on the market, but it's not quite as refined looking on the skin. I think it can enhance texture just a little bit, and it's not quite the 4-in-1 that they market it to be, but it does okay for adding some glow and a little bit of coverage, but I personally don't think it's as good as Flawless Filter. That being said, it's a nice product from Maybelline, and this is kind of their answer, the Flawless Filter type of product. So let's go ahead and throw some of this on. They do carry primers within the line. I know I've tried the Mascara Prime. That was the green tint, but it was just kind of meh, whatever. Nothing to write home about. But I know this product is really popular and people like it, but I just think it can potentially show texture if you put it like in the center of the face. That being said, I think it does really nicely underneath the foundation. It does great in that skin enhancer priming step. And on days when I'm not looking to do a whole lot and just want a little something on the skin, especially for like the gym, I use that quite often. As you can see, I've made quite the dent in it. For it to not be like a super favorite product, it's still something I reach for a lot, which I guess that says something about it. So we buff this into the skin here. And you can see that it does offer some coverage and a nice glow. So yeah, you know, just nice super duper light coverage, just a little bit of evening out. And again, it does really well for if you're looking for something just to add a nice glowy skin enhancing step to your makeup routine. Or like very, very minimal coverage and don't mind that little bit of texture enhancement. To me, it just doesn't look quite as pretty on the pore area as like Flawless Filter can look on the skin. To me, Maybelline does very good when it comes to foundations. One of my favorite ones from Maybelline is the Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. Now this one I don't think is going to be everyone's cup of tea. It has some glow to it, but I find that it has really good wear time and it dries down a little bit on the skin. This is kind of their version of the hyaluronic tinted serum foundation from L'Oreal. This is their, their dropper foundation. But I really, really enjoy this one. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. It has a very nice kind of natural look. The first time I used it, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And it was because I had a shade that was too light for me. And it just looked really bad. And I think there was something actually wrong with that particular foundation that I had initially bought. I think it was a dud because it smelled weird. The texture was wrong. I returned it and got a different one in a shade up. And it's like amazing. Totally different foundation. Super, super 10 out of 10. One of the best ones at the drugstore. This one is up there with the Makeup Revolution Skin Silk for me. One of the best ones. And this one does contain a vitamin C derivative. It's not very high on the ingredient deck. I wouldn't even think about it being in here or take that into account as a call out of the foundation. It's not really going to do much for you. But I think the foundation itself is just really pretty on the skin. It's smooth. It's still glowy. I think it's a little bit more friendly towards the oilier skin types, where a lot of the skin tints tend to be a bit more better for drier skin types. This one, if you're a little bit more oily combo like myself, this is the one. Maybelline does do some really, really good foundations. The Fit Me foundations, awesome. Dewy or matte. I think it's the Dewy and Smooth and Matte and Poreless is what they were called. Both very nice formulations depending on what your skin type and what you look for. Both to me have a rather natural finish. One is just a little bit more matte than the other one, but not like extreme huge difference between the two. They're very kind of, very thin formulation that's buildable to a medium level of coverage, decent shade range on both of them. But I mean, I've used the Fit Me foundations, had them on and off for years since I was in high school when they launched. They've always been really good and just a solid go-to product at the drugstore that you can count on. That's what it is. They are foundations you can count on. And I have revisited them over the years and have always liked them when I have them. But I find myself really, really loving this foundation. I mean, look how pretty that looks. I mean, yeah, we're putting it over the 4-in-1, but I do have a full review of this foundation showing you how it wears on its own and a whole wear test. And all the details on this one, if that interests you, I'll have it linked over here on the side. Now, concealer is another place that Maybelline really does shine. They have the Fit Me concealer, which is really good. It does have a bit of a small shade range compared to the foundation, which I think is a little odd. It's what I think of as a staple concealer at the drugstore, one that's not going to disappoint you. It's going to get the job done, and it's just a solid, good product. But my favorite from Maybelline is the Age Rewind, particularly in the light pink brightening shade. I love that one. The Age Rewind actually comes in a lot of shades now. They have increased the range. And I think the formula of the Age Rewind concealers is really, really refined and has a wonderful performance. It's a light, very soft matte finish, very hydrating at the same time. It's kind of, I think it's infused with some skincare. I want to say it has goji berry in it. Goji berry and haloxyl. I don't know what that is. It's I guess some sort of skincare that's proprietary to this and is moisturizing and crease resistant. I would agree. And it does kind of have like a nice kind of soft matte finish once it dries down. It to me is the best of the concealers from Maybelline. Yeah, and it's super buildable, easy to work with, good stuff. Don't love the component, but it's fine. It's just a smaller version of this basically with the little sponge. I've ripped the top off of mine because it got yucky. As you can see, I am basically done with this one. It's going in the empties probably right now, in fact. I don't know if I have enough to even finish this video, but we'll see if there's enough in here. I don't think there is. I think she's done. Uh-oh. Well, poo. Hoping to have enough in there to get through one more video, but I guess not. So I'm just going to fill in the blanks with a different concealer because I don't have another one from Maybelline on hand. But Age Rewind is 10 out of 10, one of the best concealers at the drugstore from any brand, and definitely from Maybelline. But the Fit Me one is a really good one also. And I like the Fit Me line because it is a little bit more affordable as well. And to me, it's geared towards a bit of a younger demographic, like high school, college age. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw on a little bit of concealer off camera. Now we got our concealer on. Let's move on to powder. Again, somewhere else Maybelline truly shines is on their powder products, whether it be their pressed powder or loose powder. Both are fantastic options. I am particularly fond of the Fit Me loose powder. I think it is wonderful, but they also make a pressed version that is a great staple kind of powder. Again, much like everything else in the Fit Me line, it's just good essential products that'll just get the job done. And yeah, I personally absolutely love the loose finishing powder though in the shade Fair. It's very brightening, very smoothing and blurring on the skin. One of the most beautiful powders at the drugstore for sure. If you're looking for something that kind of can operate in that Laura Mercier type of way, this is it right here. And also has a really nice shade range. Yeah, the Fit Me loose one comes in 8 shades. It softens and blurs the pores and imperfections. It is sheer color, lightweight, and matte finish. Whereas the pressed version, the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, it comes in 24 shades. It has a little bit more color to it. It is meant to absorb oil with a mineral technology, perlite mineral technology. So cool, and I think that the powder is wonderful, both powders. But I have the loose Fit Me on hand today, which is what we will be using. This is one of those, think of it kind of like the, was it Huda Easy Bake powder? Very much like that. One of those really beautiful, blurring, soft focus powders. Great with a puff. So I'm just gonna press some of this under the eye here. Definitely locks your makeup in for long wear. Just good stuff. And has been a staple in my makeup collection since it came out. I have always kept one on hand. I've actually had to repurchase it more than once because I've used it up, because it's that good. Like, to use up a full thing of loose setting powder, to me, definitely says something. It's one of those you can bake with, and it does great for that. I like to personally just press it into the skin, not really bake with it. I'm not too into that these days, like applying an excessive amount or anything. I think it's really nice to pair with the glowier products because it can kind of create the nice balance between the glow and matte, and you can get a little bit of a very controlled finish of what you want, glow where you want, matte where you want, kind of thing. Maybelline does do pretty decent eyeliners, like long wear liners. They have the Tattoo Studio line, which is their like super long wear gel liner products, and I have the black one on hand right now, but they have one in brown that I really like and I've used up. And this is probably my second of the black one that I've purchased in recent years. They have one that's in the little pot that's a gel one that was one of the first gel liners I ever tried back when I was in high school, and learned how to do like a wing with that and all the things, and it was decent. It was a little hard to work with back then, but it's, you know, that pomade style, but I got where I was pretty good at it. And still don't hate that kind of pomade situation for a liner if I'm looking for a very hardcore liquid liner type of effect. But I am very much partial to the long wear pencils. I use them as bases a lot of times and kind of as liner, but smoke them out. I love doing that, and they're very long wearing. And the Maybelline Tattoo Studio ones do a great job. Yeah, I haven't tried any of their liquid liners or anything like that, so I can't speak to those, but as far as the Tattoo Studio gel liner, it's really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use that today and kind of create a little wing here and smoke that out. And we'll go on with some eyeshadow. I'm going to take some of this right at the lash line. And typically I would use brown, but I ran out of my brown one. And for the sake of the video, we'll use the black one today. I'm a little low energy today. That's because I think I'm coming down with something. I'm not feeling 100% today. So if I seem a little, that is why. I'm getting sick. I've been in and out of the hospital with my dad and germs, so I'm bound to have picked something up from back and forth in emergency rooms. So I'm feeling a little sinusy and kind of icky, but I'm powering through it and pretending like I'm not sick and totally in denial. I am in full Delulu mode about not being sick. I am totally fine. Nothing's wrong with me. Definitely not feeling like I probably have a cold coming on. My throat is definitely not sore. Definitely don't have that kind of nauseous feeling. Yeah, the Tattoo Studio liner though blends out really easily, and you can smoke it out with no problems, and it will lock in and wear all day, which is very nice and doesn't bleed or anything too bad. You can use it in the tight line, or I can anyway. I have pretty watery eyes, so that's always a bit of a challenge. Now for eyeshadow, that's where I think Maybelline might not shine the most. they're not, that's not their strong suit, the eyeshadows. They do have, I think, the Tattoo Studio like cream eyeshadows. I think they have those, and yeah, they do, because I used to have some and they were really nice, but that was a million years ago. I don't know if they still carry those, but they had the City mini eyeshadow palettes that I didn't love. I had one, tried it out, didn't love it. They had the larger palettes that were kind of like the naked dupes. Those were not good. Not good. I do believe they had like the Nudes in New York palette or something at one point that got really good reviews. I never used it though. But they did put these out last year. These are their shadow blocks. Now I think the color stories are pretty. They are not all created equal. I think the purple one got terrible feedback. Overpriced because it's only 3 eyeshadows and they come in around $13. These are very much overpriced. I think the packaging might put a lot of people off. as well. But the two that I have, I really enjoy the quality of. I think they're nice, but they are definitely not worth the price point of them. So there is that. They are overpriced. But if you got either, I think this is what, West 4th and Perry Street or 82nd Park Ave, you'd probably enjoy these. These are nice color stories, and I think the performance is good on these two in particular, but I've heard very mixed reviews about the other color stories. But these two particularly I find to be very smooth. Now the thing is, you only get 3 shades, and for $13-ish, but in 82nd Park, you have a bone shade. This is kind of like their Pillow Talky looking one, but it's a little bit cooler than Pillow Talk. You have a nice little kind of soft, cool tone rose gold, and then a mid-tone shade. And then in West 4th and Perry, you've got a mauve shade, a really beautiful cranberry. This color is gorgeous right here. And then a deep matte warm brown. And these two that I have, I really think the quality is quite nice. I hate the price point because this was $30 basically with tax for 6 eyeshadows. I could just, buy a high-end eyeshadow for that price point in nicer packaging that feels less bulky and wasteful. I have a lot of complaints about these. That being said, if we're going to take the price point out of everything and just look at the shadow quality for what it is, it's not bad. It's not bad. In these two anyway. Like I said, I can't speak to the others. But we're going to take some of this bone shade right here, pop that onto the lid, or under the brow bone. It's one of those days where if the phone rings, I have to answer it. Because my dad is currently in the hospital and having a procedure today and just waiting to hear back information. So anyway, the mattes in here, they are super soft and buttery, but they almost feel a little bit too like silicone based, to where they could be just a little too soft almost, and maybe not enough adherence to the eye could be the potential problem here. That's speaking to on the mattes within these palettes. And that was kind of my feeling with the City Mini palettes. They felt too soft in a way, like they didn't adhere enough to the skin. Like they had too much like dimethicone in them, or silicone, or like what's in like HD powders. That it felt too much like an HD powder, to where it was just, it didn't want to stick to the eye very well. And I feel like that could be the case here with the mattes, but definitely improved upon the previous iterations. So we're going to take the mid-tone here from the lighter of the trios. I'm going to just use both today. Like I said, this is not Maybelline's strong suit. You could do better on eyeshadows from the drugstore. But they're pretty. It's the price point, really. Let's jump over to Park Ave. No, some Perry West and Perry. And I'm going to take some of the deepest brown on a smaller brush. And this is kind of a warm, plummy-ish brown. That's nice. I mean, that has good pigmentation to it. They do blend really well. Like, I mean, that looks alright. It's nice. Yeah, I think they had like a larger palette that was called like Nudes in New York or something. But I've just never been particularly fond of their eyeshadow palettes. Even back in the day. Like their quads or anything. They've never been my go-to for that. They could at least put a mirror in here for the price point. Right? I'm gonna take this one right here. This shade is actually just super gorgeous. Like, I wish they sold that as a single because it is so, so pretty. It is sparkly, it is shiny, and it is super smooth at the same time. Just a beautiful formulation on this one. So we take some of that just right out here. I mean, isn't that pretty? It's just a gorgeous like garnet color. Very nice. I still remember the day I purchased these. I didn't realize how expensive they were. Was checking out and I saw them get ring up, and I was like, ugh. Like, it made me physically ill feeling, because like, you kidding me? What? For 3? Like, it didn't compute that seeing these rung up together was gonna be $30-something. And I was just like, oh my god, are you serious? I almost was this close to telling the cashier to just take them off, because I was like, that's ridiculous for drugstore. But I was like, no, we need to see how these perform, because I think I need to talk about this. That shade right there is gorgeous. Like, with a finger, look at that. Definitely an improvement on their shimmers from what I've used in there. So now I'm gonna jump over to this one. I'm gonna take this shade right here, put that on the inner part. And just glue those over together. And lower lash line, I'm gonna take that deepest brown again and a little smudge brush. I don't think Maybelline has really any tools to speak of. And that's gonna be pretty much it for the eyeshadow. And so Maybelline does make a pretty okay bronzer. Again, this is not one of my favorite products from Maybelline. It's the City Bronzer. It comes in some very light shades, but there's something about the tone of it that just did not work for me. And I didn't like the texture of the powder very much. Like, it felt very dusty, and there was just something about it that I didn't love. So I've actually decluttered that. So I can't really use a bronzer today to demo their bronzer, but I can tell you about the City Bronzer, and that it was not worth checking out. I would pass. It's not their strong suit. There's better bronzers at the drugstore. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do some bronzer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just did some Milani Cream bronzer just to add some warmth to the skin. Now let's talk about some blush. Maybelline does blush okay. They actually do a pretty decent job on their blushes. They have the Fit Me blushes. Those are really nice, just kind of solid blush formulation. They also have just released the Sun-Kissed blushes, or Sun-Kisser blushes rather. That's their take on a liquid blush. Now I find these to not be the most pigmented of them all. There's a lot of variation across the line within these. Like, I have this one that is called Blazing Blush, and it is beautiful baby pink, super glowy, kind of sheer, but just gorgeous. And then I have the shade City Sizzle, which is also has shimmer in it, but it doesn't really show on the face as much. It's a bit more pigmented, a little bit more oomph. There's a lot of variation within the formulation of these. That being said, I think they're nice. They're not the #1 best top tier cream blush or liquid blush at the drugstore, but these are really nice and they're fun. I think they've come with some interesting shades within the range. Like, there's like a pure bronze gold one, like something like this baby pink one, which I really, really love. And this one, the City Sizzle one, which is a really nice kind of terracotta warm shade. So yeah, we're gonna go in with this one today because I feel like it kind of matches the look the best, I think, and it's just a nice, pretty warm color. And that's what it looks like. Like I say, it looks like it should have some shimmer in it when you look at the component, but it really doesn't when it goes on the skin. These are just a little bit more watery, maybe, or gel-like than some of the other formulations that I've seen. They're not quite as solid, I guess. Yeah, they're a little more like kind of gel-ish, a little more liquidy, tad more sheer. And yeah, there's a little bit of like glitter and sheen in it, but not extreme, especially if you apply it with taking it on the back of the hand, then onto a brush, which is the way that I like to apply these. I think they look really nice. And I'm a fan of a liquid blush. I really am. Yeah, these sheer out more. That's what I'm getting at. But I like this color because it does give it a little bit of a sunburnt look. These aren't those super overly pigmented liquid blushes like some of them are. And for highlighter, I don't actually have a highlighter, I believe, from Maybelline. I don't. But they make the Master Chrome highlight, which is one of those super duper metallic glowy ones. I just never got my hands on it because I felt like the shades were not gonna suit my skin tone very well. So I just never bought it, but those were raved about for years. Very, very viral product. Now you can see on my hand, there's glitter. But on my face, there is not, because it doesn't pick up and translate onto the face if you apply it in this manner. And I just think the color is really pretty. But particularly this baby pink one, it's so good. It really is. If you're super fair, do yourself a favor and get this one. If you get any of them. Just because it's unique. And like I said, the shade range of these is pretty unique. They claim to have like ones that are meant to be blushes, bronzers, and highlights all within the range. And you can kind of just experiment and see what you want to use where on your face kind of thing. Like, it's not specified, but that's the kind of the marketing around it was set up that way. Okay, brows. Maybelline actually has a full complement of brow products. They have the Brow Fast Sculpt, which is really nice. It's kind of that that Benefit Gimme Brow type of product, kind of like the e.l.f. Wow Brow. It's a good one, just a nice brow gel. They have quite a few brow things on the market. I haven't tried a ton of them, but one of the ones that I do really enjoy is the Build-A-Brow. Mine, I have used up the gel end and threw that away, so I just have this random end. Look how beat up this is. Look, I've had this for about 4 or 5 months now. The pen is still going strong. I've used up the gel long ago. The gel is great, by the way, you just don't get enough of it. But the pen, she is still going strong and is a great brow pen. It's really nice. It's easy to use. It's good shade range. I like it. I like it a lot, and I will definitely repurchase this whenever I use it up. But it is still going strong, and I just use a different brow gel with it, and not a big deal to me. But it's a really nice brow pen, and does a good job. So there's that. And the shade that I have, I think I have ash brown. I want to say it's a really good shade match for me. Yeah, going back to that blush though, I think if you don't like glitter though in your blush, you probably are not going to like that particular shade, but all the formulas are different, so just look at the formulation itself, because some of them don't have glitter, some do, some are more shimmery, some are more like matte. That's the only thing, they don't differentiate in the packaging what's what, which I kind of wish they had done that. But anyway, back to the brow product. This is a good brow product. It is. It's a really good brow pen. I mean, hair-like strokes, super easy to use. It's great. And the gel that come with it really did lock them in very well. And it was kind of like a waterproof. But yeah, up close I am seeing some rogue glitters from the blush that I wasn't seeing with my naked eye. And why did I throw the end of this away? I don't know why I just didn't keep it on there. That was kind of a weird thing to have done. I also use this to fill in my freckle right there. But whatever, I think it's a really good brow pen. Regardless of using up the gel side quickly. Somewhere that I think Maybelline absolutely shines is mascara. They know how to do a mascara. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm actually using one that is not my favorite from Maybelline today, and that is the Firework Mascara. This one I just found to be a little bit messy. And it's not my preferred type of wand, but if you like one that really applies a lot of product quickly, you'll like this mascara. Just for me, I have fairly long lashes and they're already kind of curly. It makes a mess for me personally. I like a bit more of a drier formula with a bit more of a cleaned off brush. I like more of a Lash Paradise type of wand. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. I'll put some of this on. But yeah, it's one that I have to be very careful with applying. It is quite messy when it comes out of the tube. You really got to take off a lot of product because it will get clumpy. Now, I wrote down a list of my favorite mascaras from Maybelline so I could tell you about them, and I'll have them on the screen. The Lash Sensational Sky High is a really nice one. It's really good length, and it comes in a ton of fun colors. So that one is definitely, that's the perk of it. It is also quite long wear. But yeah, it has some really beautiful colors. Like it comes in like a hot pink, or not hot pink, but like a baby pink, bubblegum pink color. I think it's really cool. A Falsies Surreal is my #1 favorite, absolutely top tier, best one from Maybelline. I love the Falsies Surreal so much. I enjoy the whole Falsies range, but Falsies Surreal is a 10 out of 10 win. Falsies Lash Lift, really nice one as well. Surreal is better in my opinion. The Volume Express Colossal was a good one. I really enjoyed it. It was an old favorite. And of course the OG Falsies, loved it. Favorite Lash Discovery is really nice. If you like something that is a very, very small wand to get into the lower lash line, and if you have like small eyes and need to kind of get in there a little more precise, Lash Discovery is great for that. The Volume Express Cat Eye was fine. Big Shot's fine. Curl Bounce, I didn't love the Curl Bounce as much. It was fine. Snapscara, meh, is okay. Yeah, the Falsies Surreal though, and any of the ones from the Falsies line, 10 out of absolute 10. But this is from the Lash Sensational range, which those tend to have rubber brushes, I've noticed. Anyway, messy brush, very messy. Now I've had this for a couple of weeks now, so it's kind of maybe getting a little bit more to a sweet spot. I wish the bristles were just a little longer too. It just gets a little clumpy on me. So I have to be very strategic with my application. Don't bark while I'm doing mascara. One of the perks with this one, if you don't want to have to continue to go through and build mascara, this one you do not have to build. You can just, you're done. That's why Emily Noel loves it so much, because she has very stubborn lashes that curl. Her curl drops really easily, and the more she brushes through applying the mascara, the quicker her curl drops. So this mascara is very beneficial for her, and it does plump up her lashes a lot more, whereas to me this can almost overwhelm my eye and look a little clumpy. So it's a personal preference thing, you know, you gotta crack a few eggs, see which ones you like best. But on days when I get this mascara to work for me, like today, girl, I love it, but some days I hate it. And I have to go through and brush it with a little comb, and it's a whole thing. It's not one I can rely on. And yeah, it can get very messy. Now the wear time is really good. It doesn't flake or anything like that. And that's one thing I think Maybelline has improved dramatically on with their mascaras, is the wear time and the water resistant kind of long wear without being waterproof. They've definitely created some that aren't waterproof but wear very well without flaking and getting all over the place and smudging. Now, I'm not a waterproof mascara gal. I've had some mishaps, so I don't mess with that no more. But they do have waterproof in most of their formulations. And the price points on their mascaras are good. They're all at around, I believe, the $10 price point. And of course, Walmart, Target. You're gonna get your best deal at Maybelline, Walmart, Target, and Ulta, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. Those types of stores will run the buy one get one sales. There we go. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Because if I do some more, it's gonna get Clump City. But maybe I'm at a sweet spot with this mascara and we are friends now. Are we at a sweet spot? You're still not my favorite because I have to work with you too much. You're too demanding and high maintenance, and I like chill vibes, and you are not that mascara. I'm probably gonna repurchase the Falsies one. Anyway, okay, that's eyes done. Now lips is another place that Maybelline does shine really well, is in the lip product category. They have beautiful long wear products. They have got their super long wear two-step old school liquid lipsticks, which I actually have a couple of somewhere. Sorry, I didn't pull them out. But yeah, they have the two-step one that's like what they call 24-hour color. I wouldn't go for that, but yeah, these are super long wear and great for special occasions. They have the Color Stay Matte Ink, which I think these are wonderful. I really like the formulation on these if you're looking for a old school kind of liquid lipstick from more of the 2016 heyday liquid lipstick type of formulation. These are really nice. I love them. This particular one is from their coffee collection or cocoa collection or something like that, chocolate collection. It's beautiful, really nice really nice formulation, great pigmentation. It's pretty comfortable too. It's a good formula. Definitely more comfortable than this. And then they have their vinyl inks, which I just did a whole video swatching and reviewing my collection of the vinyl ink line, which are wonderful. These are like the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks, I believe, where you shake them up and they go on. They look like a glossy, shiny liquid lipstick, but they're super duper long wearing. Very unique formula. Really cool product. I have a whole video about these. They have their traditional cream lipsticks, and they also have their matte lipsticks, which I have quite the little collection of here. These are their Color Sensational lipsticks in the matte finish. And yeah, these are lovely formulation. They feel very soft and pillowy, kind of silicone-y on the lips. Really nice. I enjoy them. I've loved them for years and years and years. I have quite the collection that I have accumulated over the years. I've decluttered some, repurchased some. It's been a thing. But they've always been kind of a staple in my makeup collection as far as lip products go, is Color Sensational lipsticks from Maybelline in the matte finish. And of course, I think one of their most popular products that they have for lips is the lifter glosses. These are gorgeous. These are wonderful, wonderful glosses. 10 out of 10 formulation at the drugstore. Beautiful shade range. There's something very satisfying about these. I really like these, and they also just came out this past year with the plumping version, and these are infused with Maxi Lip and Chili Pepper, so I have 2 of those as well. I have Hot Honey and I think Hot Chili. They are spicy, they burn, it feels like you just rubbed red pepper all over your lips, but in the best way. I love them. Yeah, and I love the regular lifter glosses also. They just came out with lip liners that coordinate with those. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on those. I have used their mechanical lip liner in the past, and it's nice. It's very long wearing, but mine in particular broke and dried out. So there's that. Today we're going to use one of the Color Sensational matte lipsticks because this is a bit of a throwback formulation that I think nobody really talks about anymore. And yeah, we're going to use Nude Nuance today. It's definitely a forgotten, looked over formulation at the drugstore. It's just one of those that's been on the market so long, and they've put out so many more products that I think it's gotten forgotten about, but I think it's also a line that people really love at the same time and appreciate. I don't have any of the creams from that line, so I am going to be purchasing some of the creams and do a swatch video with those, but I do have a little collection of the matte ones. We'll just go with a Revlon one. Lip liner. I want to get one of the lifter lip liners. Just have not had the opportunity and seen them anywhere for sale, but the colors look so beautiful. Like, I've looked at them online, obviously. I just haven't gone in store anywhere that has them. And they're nice, like traditional sharpen up lip liners, which I'm partial to. Well, I'm using a mechanical one today. But this Revlon one is actually very similar to the Maybelline. This is the color Stay. Now, let's go with Nude Nuance. Look at how pretty. And these have a very, very silicone-like feel. Like, there's a pillowiness to these. And this really, really nice vanilla-ish fragrance. I like the way the Maybelline lip stuff smells. These from Maybelline smell. Not everybody's going to like it. There's a hint of vanilla meets floral lipstick smell that is definitely not for everybody, but I like it. Some of the shade being called Nude Nuance, I really like. I like the word nuance. Do you ever just have like a word you like? I get fixated on words. I was one of those weird kids that would like go through the dictionary and write down words and definitions. And I loved looking through with a thesaurus. Now, the thing about these in particular, I find at first they still look kind of creamy, even though they're meant to be a matte formulation. But as they wear, they kind of go a little bit more matte over the course of like 20 minutes or so. it'll start to feel a little bit more matte on the lips and a little bit kind of like it dries down, but not in a drying way. Like it's comfortable. It just feels a little bit more like a powdery feel. They have that velvety feel to them. Two of these can go on a little bit thick feeling. So I like to kind of work it into the lip a little bit. It also allows them to go a little bit more matte as well, because at first they do kind of have a little bit of a creamy look to them. They're not flat matte. They're not like powdery matte, even though they kind of feel almost powdery like. They have a kind of a silicone feel to them. I like this color, Nude Nuance. Very pretty, isn't it? It's the first time actually wearing it. I just picked it up the other day. I picked it up and what's the other one I got? Touch of Spice. Yeah, it's a pretty lipstick. I'm gonna top it, I think, with a little bit of, let's do Amber from the Lifter Glosses. And the Lifter Glosses have that little bit of coconutness to them. Like it's kind of a coconut vanilla. Don't hate it. Don't love it either, but I don't hate it. All right. Ooh, I'm hungry. All of a sudden, it's like my stomach was like, girl, we hungry. It's time to eat. I haven't had breakfast yet. I think Maybelline also has setting sprays. I know I've used one at one point. I just don't have one on hand. I want to say they had like a glass skin one at some point. They might still have that. But yeah, this is pretty much the best of the best with Maybelline to me. I think their strong suits really are the Fit Me range. That range I would recommend to younger demographics, college, high school age, just kind of get into coverage products. To me, that's where the Fit Me range can really be beneficial. And the Age Rewind concealer, I think, is just a wonderful concealer overall. High-end drugstore, whatever, that's a good concealer. The Fit Me loose powder is a 10 out of 10 product for high-end drugstore regardless. Like it's one of those products that just performs like high-end regardless of the brand. Yeah, I think they shine on those products. When it comes to like bronzers and blushes, I don't think that's really their strongest suit. Eyeshadows definitely isn't their strong point. They're just kind of whatever. These liquid sun kisser blushes, like I said, if you find one that has like a color to it you like this one does have a little bit of glitter in, but this one doesn't, and this color is very unique. They have some unique shades of finishes within the range. It's definitely worth checking out, looking at in person at the store to see what you think of them. Mascaras are absolutely a strong suit for Maybelline. They nail it when it comes to mascara. They have one for everyone. No matter your mascara taste, they've got one that's going to suit you and be what you're looking for in formulation. Like I said, the Falsies Surreal is my #1 holy grail from them. Really love it, but any ones in the Falsies range, I personally really enjoy because I like fluttery, voluminous lashes. And those accomplish that for me. Lip products, that's another place that Maybelline absolutely shines. They have a huge collection of cream finish lipsticks as well as these matte finish color sensational lipsticks. Tons and tons of shades to choose from. They've got the vinyl ink lipsticks that are wonderful formulation, beautiful colors. They have the lifter glosses. They've got the plumping lifter glosses. Color Stay liquid lipsticks here, like this. Beautiful, super great pigmentation on those. They've got the crayons. They've got a lot of lip products to choose from, and they are all pretty dang good. I have not been disappointed in any of them. So there's that. Yeah, I think they do really well on like something like this, the Super Stay Skin Tint. This one I think had kind of mixed reviews, but I absolutely love it. I think it's great if you're a little bit more on the oily side. The 4-in-1 Perfector, I know a lot of people love. It's okay. It's not like my, oh my gosh, holy grail product, but it's fine. That's my thoughts pretty much on Maybelline as a whole, and some of the products that I think deserve kind of a shout out because they are that good and worth talking about and checking out. And for the most part, Maybelline doesn't break the bank either. They're not super expensive, whereas like L'Oreal can kind of get a little up there. L'Oreal's a little bougie. Maybelline keeps their price point a little bit closer to that mid-range at the drugstore that's a little bit more affordable. And yeah, I think they make some really nice product. So, all right. Let me know some of your favorite things from Maybelline down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Bye now.